Welcome to Sty Times, folks. Hey, it's great to see y'all. It's great to see y'all. The It's Friday, March 12th. Everybody likes a Friday. Heck, I'm retired, and I even like Fridays. The yeah, I'm gonna shout out a few folks out in that chat. I see E-Waste Mike just popped in there, and he goes, "I'm here. Don't know why." I don't know. Yeah. So I'm going to kind of look at the top of my chat and shout out the folks that have been hanging out a little before the show and saying hi to each other and saying hi to the show and stuff. Uh, I always like to give some credit to these folks that show up and participate, interact. Um, First person that was in was Join Vader Gamer 1234. It's great to see you. Crazy Ann. Yeah, yeah. What a lovely friend she is. Everybody loves Crazy Ann. And then we had Kirk Whipper, Voyager Center. Tim, he showed up. Great to see you, Tim. And then Guani. Guani, great to see you. Always great to see you, Guani. And then we had James with Chasing the Reaper. Yeah, great to see you. Eileen Ballou. Thank you, Eileen. She's putting up the GoFundMe for helping out Get Her Done Granny. And if you got a buck or two that you can spare, jump on that GoFundMe link and help her out. We got a ways to go yet to make sure she's going to come out okay. So let's do what we can over there, okay? And I put the link at the top of the chat too. So you got it up there if you don't see it out in the chat. So no excuses, guys. And then of course we had E-Waste Mike pop in and then Trail Trash. Hey, it is great to see you. Great to see you. Those guys, man. Trav and Mav, man. They're the cleanup boys. They're our Mother Nature's cleanup boys. They're great. Oh, Eileen. Eileen. I tell you what, this girl just doesn't learn. I mean, she just doesn't learn. You are such a super supporter of the channel. Love you, girl. Love you. And like I said, you go way too far out. You don't have to do that. Don't have to. Truly appreciated. But so then who else do we have here? Neighbor girl, great to see you. Absolutely great. Oh, Destination Great Lakes. There's Travis. Hey, awesome. May's coming, buddy. I'll be talking to Chris early this coming month, April, and we're going to get all the paperwork and stuff done. And, he's got the deal with the truck and all this stuff at my campsite. Yeah, and I'm excited. I'm excited. He told me that if I wish, I can show up at gate opening on May 1st. So I'm hoping to be out to camp real quick. So that's it. I caught up with everybody that's out there in the chat right now. Everybody chatting away and having a good time. Yeah, it's that time of year at Destination Great Lakes. Time to be chatting with Chris, our top dog there at the campgrounds, and get everything in order, right? Hello, Aiden here. It's great to see you. So, this evening's topic. Now, I had someone send me a message because at the end of every show, if you watch the closing credits, in a sense, it tells you what the topic will be for the next show. Well, so certain people saw that, and a couple of them messaged me, and they go, "I don't know if I want to show up. That's going to be so depressing." I said, "Well, no. That's not the intent of this evening's topic. Is to make people feel sad or depressed or down. What I'm trying to accomplish with our topic tonight, say goodbye while there's time left. I'm hoping that somebody watching this show, whether it be live right now or later down the road, that somebody will find that what I have to say makes their life a little easier with dealing with goodbyes, with saying goodbye to someone. Um, I don't, you know, death is only one issue when it comes to goodbyes. We say goodbye all the time. I say goodbye after every live stream. I say goodbye after every video I ever make. That's a lot of goodbyes in itself. But I have found, unless I have some form of interaction, uh, if I don't have interaction with someone in a day, that's, you would think, is the only time that you would not be saying goodbye at least once, right? Well, I say goodbye at the end of every day. The E-Waste Mike. Goodbye, Sty. I love you, buddy. Love you. A-OK Foraging and Adventures is here. Thack and Brenda. Love you guys. The 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 oh, driving. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I can understand. Don't text and drive. The but the the I had someone say to me, "Well, geez, Sty, sometimes you're recluse, you know. You you don't see nobody in a whole dang day. You don't get a phone call. You don't go online. You wouldn't say goodbye on that day." And I go, "Well, actually, they're wrong. Actually, they're wrong. I say goodbye at least once a day. When I crash for the night, man, when I head to bed, I look at my possessions, you know, my little bubble, my world, and I go, well, goodbye. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. Something could happen. Get her done, Granny knows all too well. Something could happen where the next morning all those things are gone. So I even say goodbye to the material world, the world in itself. There's times when I'm outdoors, camping and hiking, and I watch that sunset, and I'll say, well, goodbye for another day. I hope to see you again tomorrow, right? Now, I lived quite a long time already. I plan on living quite a long time yet. Those are the plans, by the way. You know, plans change sometimes, you know. But I, okay, this whole idea of goodbye, there's so many different types of goodbyes. I'm guilty. I think everybody's guilty one way or the other. You might have one of your dearest friends or a family member, and you're in a hurry. The world makes us buzz around, you know. We're just go, 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 go. And you had a nice little get together with somebody, and but you got to cut it short. You're busy, got to go. And what do? You're heading for your car, and you go, bye. Not much of a goodbye, is it? Bye. In your car, and you're gone. Something happens to that person before you see them again. And what's the first thing that comes to mind after you've gotten over the initial shock? First thing that comes to mind is, when did I see him last? Oh, it was last Thursday. Yeah, we had a good time. We had lunch together. Boy, I wish I could have said goodbye, though, before I lost him. Because the bye you said last Thursday was just, bye, you're gone. The goodbye wasn't important. It was just bye, gone. If you make every goodbye special, that's what you'll remember. Is somebody that you gave that goodbye to all of a sudden isn't there. And it's not just death, like I said at the beginning. The world changes, circumstances change. And I'm going to talk about a lot more about that issue in the second half of the show, about how we never know when somebody we just spent time with is going to be separated from us. It could be death, it could be their job, it could be a family crisis that's halfway across the country. It could be all kinds of reasons that all of a sudden that person is pulled out of your life. And what is one of the hardest things to deal with? Did I get a chance to say a decent goodbye to them? You know, I didn't get to say goodbye. You may have said goodbye, but it was not that meaningful. It was just goodbye. You're gone. So I learned very young, to say goodbye while there's time left. Because you never know if you've got any time left. You never know if the person that you should be saying goodbye to in a very meaningful way, you don't know if they've got any time left, because none of us know how much time we have. We hope to have a lot of time. We plan on having a lot of time, and that's good. That's healthy, very healthy. Heck, I tell everybody I plan on living to be 135. I don't know if I'll make it or not, but that's the plan. That's the plan, right? But when I say goodbye to somebody, I say goodbye to them as if, in my own mind, as if I might have 35 minutes left. I don't know. Not 135. I might not live for 135 years. I might only have 35 minutes of my entire life left. I don't know. So, hey, hello, Saucy Shane. It's great to see you, brother. Great to see you. And I see it. I see people saying goodbye all the time. And I know their intent. I know what's in their heart. You can tell. They're saying goodbye. Hope to see you tomorrow, or hope to see you next week. The E-Waste Mike says, I'm still here. Why? Yeah, little turd. Because you got to stick around till I say goodbye to you tonight at the end. That's why. There's a why for you. If you want to know why, Mike, you got to watch Monday evening's Sty Times. That topic, I'm going to blow it because you're supposed to wait and watch it at the end. But next week's is no experience, but all the answers. You're going to like that one, Mike. Yeah, you'll find out why. That's if I make it to Monday. So, Mike, you better say a nice goodbye at the end of the night tonight, bud. I don't plan on going anywhere, like I said. It's a long ways to 135 from 64, But I can't impress upon people enough how important a good goodbye is. We put a lot more effort into the hellos than we do the goodbyes most of the time. You see somebody you haven't seen in a long time, a family member, a dear friend, and what do? You run up to them and give them a big hug. Hi, I'm so happy to see you. Gosh, oh, it's a big affair saying hi to somebody. We all got to say hi. Oh, gosh, yes, I got to say hi. But when we leave, it's bye. We're out of here. What is so important about the meeting, but less so about the parting? Because in the event, you never see that person again. Now, for the longest time, you're dealing with, I didn't really get to say goodbye, said the word bye, but I never got to say goodbye. And then you got to deal with that. You got to deal with it. And you're like, I should have said a better goodbye. If it's you, I give you, yeah, right. There's a goodbye for you. Right. But see, yeah, she said, if you were paying attention right from the beginning, you would have heard me say, there's a lot of different ways to say goodbye. Yeah. I've got friends. E-Waste Mike is really close to that, and Cheesehead's really close to that, where when we say goodbye to each other, it might be, hey, it was a blast. Can't wait to see you again. Get the hell out of here, you asshole. That's our goodbye, and it's a good one. It's a good one. And it's because of the type of friendship we have, right? That sounds terrible, sounds nasty. But in fact, if we don't say that, yeah, anyways, my goodbye. Oh, good. I mean, if we don't say things in a certain way, then you get concerned and you don't feel like, well, that's not a real goodbye. That's not him. That's not the way he is. And and if he says a real emotional goodbye, that would draw concern. That would draw, and I would play into it and say, oh yeah, buddy, hey, I sure hope to see you soon. But until then, goodbye, buddy. Give him a good hug. Because you never know. Never know. No, that's my hello to you. Oh, that's how you say hello. Yeah. Well, yeah, your hellos and goodbyes are hard to pick out. the Yeah, yeah. Destination Great Lakes has a few friends. They say goodbye that way. Yeah. And that's it. Is goodbyes, I think. There's a lot of people out there with a lot of different opinions about the proper way to say goodbye to somebody. And I've got friends and I just like, whoa, okay. They will not say goodbye. They won't use the dang word. If they say goodbye to you, that means they never want to see your butt again. Because they're firm believers. You don't say goodbye to someone you care about because it's too permanent. It's like there's a finality to it. It's final, man. Goodbye. In other words, I ain't never seeing you again. Now, that's all right if you understand that's what they mean in it. But if you don't understand that, they never say goodbye. I've got an old friend that talked to him on the phone. And back in the old days, handset, hello. And you'd be talking away, and you'd say, "Well, okay, hey, I'll talk to you tomorrow." And he would say, "Sounds good." Click. You'd hear him hang that phone up. You'd say to him, "Well, I guess that's it for today." And he'd say, "Okay." Click. He'd never say goodbye, ever say goodbye. You knew his goodbye was click. You heard the phone get hung up. And believe it or not, I was on the phone with him one time, and we talked a long time, and his health wasn't good. His health wasn't good. And we were talking about some of his concerns and stuff, and things that, he didn't know how things were going to be looked after around the home place for his wife, and they had two kids grown up, moved away, and so he's explaining to me some of the issues that he's mentally and emotionally dealing with, and after this long conversation, I kept thinking to myself, um, this guy's tough, man. This guy was really tough. He always was. And I thought, he can pretty much so work out anything. And if he can't, I'll be there for him. All he has to do is give me a call. At the end of that conversation, for the first time of us knowing each other for 40 years, we knew each other for 40 years. At the end of that conversation, that fella says, I just love when we can talk like this. And I said, me too. Me too. I said, I'll give you a call. I'll give you a call in about a week, okay? Check up on you. And he said, well, if it's convenient, you go ahead and do that. And he says, until then, goodbye. I should have known. Should have known. I get a phone call 4 days later. He had passed away. That was the only thing that gave that man a reason to say goodbye. He knew he was going. He wasn't letting on to me that he was. I found out later that his doctor had, because he was hospitalized at the time I was talking to him, but that his doctor had just visited him and told him, you'll be lucky if you make it through the week, and there's nothing we can do to help you. So he took that opportunity for 40 years, never saying goodbye once, because he refused to, because it was so final to say goodbye to somebody. He always said, if you say goodbye to somebody, you don't plan on ever seeing them again. You only should say goodbye once to a person, he said. And he did. He did. He only said goodbye once. And so he kind of proved his point to a degree that, but he had warning, so he could use his goodbye. What if you don't have that warning? What if it's an event that separates you from somebody? Like I said, it doesn't just have to be death. It can be, there's all kinds of things in the world. I'm going to give an example after the halftime mark, but you become separated. It can be spur of the moment where you don't even have the opportunity to make that one and only last goodbye call, right? So, so that just again stresses my point that our hellos, our greetings, our hellos are all just blown up. It's the best damn thing in the world. Hello, love you. Oh, it's so good to see you. We're done visiting. Goodbye. In the carts. I'm out of here. Yep, that's it. Goodbye. Boom. I'm gone. So, with people like that, what do? You look forward to seeing them again because the greeting is awesome. The greeting is awesome. And you go through a conversation with them and you're just dreading the end of it because when they leave, it's going to be bye in the car and gone. You just kind of wish that you got the greeting at the end instead of at the front end, you know? And well, it's great to see you guys out there. I see Tiger Muskie, I see Gemma Journey Grace, I see King Babes. It's great to see you guys out there all interacting. That's wonderful. I love it. I love it. That's what the show is about. That's what the chat is for. That's what the chat is for. When I started this program, right from the very first show, I stressed that chat really is for you guys more than me. It's I watch it as much as I can, but it's there for you guys. It's there for you guys. It's your chance to interact with each other, talk about the topic or other issues. It's there for you. It's there for you. That's that hour, 3 days a week. You can come over here and just hang out and chat with other folks. Yeah, and get to hear a topic on top of it. The topic, I guess, is icing on the cake. You guys are the cake. Yep. If you notice, I'm drinking a lot of this today. I had 1 cup of coffee early this morning. Went through most of the day. I had a cup during Get Her Done Granny had a stream, and that's it. 2 cups. By noon, I've got at least 6 of these cups in me, and so I'm trying to catch up. I just love my coffee. Love my coffee. If somebody were to take my coffee, I'm going to be sad because I didn't have a chance to say goodbye. Bye, coffee. Bye. So we're close enough to the halfway point. You know what I got to do at the halfway point? I have to do a special little clip, a shout out to all my great channel members, and hopefully none of you are going to run off during this. It's only a minute and a half long. Stick around. We're going to get into some real good examples of saying goodbye while there's time left after this little break. It's only a minute and a half long. So I'll see you in a moment, guys. Well, folks, yeah. Well, we'll say goodbye to that. Wonderful members. I just love my members. I love my members. They're making this whole channel possible. Yeah. all the support out there from all of you guys is amazing. It's just amazing. So, uh, oh, Tiger Muskie. Oh, yes, yes. And that's it, is if we know somebody is going to pass, the more time we can have with them, the more, the hurt doesn't go away. It just makes it a little more bearable, and it gives you a little more time to adjust. When my brother passed, it was that way. Home hospice, and we all felt so much better. We all felt so much better because he went where he wanted to be, and it made it possible for us to be where we would like to be, and that's with him. And a lot of goodbyes, a lot of goodbyes. There were folks in the family that would say goodbye to him 2, 3 times a day, and because you didn't know, because it could be any moment, right? And I was glad to see that everybody made their goodbyes actually not sad, not sad. You should take a goodbye of somebody, a loved one, or a family member, dear friend. You should take those goodbyes and do everything you can in your own effort to actually make the goodbye a joyous type event where it reflects why you're saying goodbye to the person. It reflects what happened prior to the goodbye. The goodbye should show, oh my gosh, I loved my time with you. Oh, Gemma. Let's see what Gemma's saying here. Gemma's saying, this reminds me of not being able to say goodbye to my gran. I miss her so much. This topic means a lot. Oh, well, thank you, Gemma. I hope it does. I hope it does. And that's it, is and that's what the second half is really about, is I'm going to talk about those goodbyes that didn't happen. We sometimes you have the opportunity to say goodbye. Other times you don't. And I would say the majority of times that we don't have the opportunity to say goodbye was because we didn't see it coming, didn't know that there was a reason for a goodbye, a good goodbye, or by our own choice, we weren't available for a goodbye. And all of them are hard to deal with after the fact. To say, I could have said goodbye. I could have said goodbye. Now I'm going to give some examples of goodbyes that should have been done, but never happened. Then I'm going to give some examples of goodbyes that happened that were good goodbyes. And then it did happen, but unexpectedly. And you're going, thank God we had a good goodbye, right? So one of them, hey, Spicy, that's all right. Drive careful, brother. Drive very careful. So one of the examples didn't get a chance to say goodbye, right? The my first grandmother to pass away, that was one of those situations where, oh, she was mean and ornery, that woman. Oh, she was. Oh, she could be a terror, that old gal. Still loved her, man. Still loved her. And there were times where, oh man, I almost wanted to knock grandma down the stairs. Really didn't want any harm to ever come to grandma, but Oh, she make me mad sometimes. Well, she passed away in her sleep. And I'll never forget my granddad. He walked, their home was about 10 city blocks. We didn't have city blocks, but it was the length of 10 city blocks away from our home. And he had to walk through about 6 different people's backyards to get up to our house. And he walked up to our house, walked in the house, and let us all know Grandma just passed away. That was a hard one to live down because the day before, my pop had told me, he said, you know, you should go down and visit Grandma and Grandpa. Grandma just made some of your favorite cream pies, and she'd love to visit with you and give you a piece of that fresh pie because she knows that's your favorite. And that was the one thing where my mean, ornery grandmother was sweet as honey, was when she'd make those pies and let my pop know, tell the boy to come on down for a piece of pie. Well, I think it was because I bragged the hell out of that pie while I got a mouthful. I'd be chowing down that, and she'd give you such a huge piece, and I'd be chowing that down. Grandma, you're the best. There nobody can cook like you, and blah blah. And I think she really loved that. But my buddies wanted to go bike riding, and I decided to go bike riding instead. Every time I had pie with my grandma, she never touched me as a kid unless she was tweaking my ear or smacking me up across the back of the head, kicking me in the butt on the way out the door. Except on Pie Day, why do you get hugs and kisses and get your head rubbed? And, we'll see you, buddy. You have a nice day. Bye-bye. On Pie Day. I skipped Pie Day. And she passed away. So as a kid, I was struggling with the fact I missed that opportunity to say goodbye. Well, my grandfather, he ended up moving to our place, to our property. We had 2 cottages, and and no, Gaff, I ain't going nowhere. I'm living to be 135. But one of our cottages was available. So my grandfather, now being an old bachelor, he was, at that time, I believe he was like 80 years old. So we moved him into that cottage. So I saw my granddad every day. I saw him every day. He'd eat meals with us all the time. Very rare he just didn't eat at least dinner with us. So I saw him all the time. And he could tell one day that I was kind of moping around, and feeling down. He goes, "What's up?" I told him, "Well, I'm thinking of Grandma, and the fact that I missed Pie Day and didn't get to say goodbye." He's the one that coined the comment I use for my title. Say goodbye while there's time, buddy. I couldn't believe he said that to me. Say goodbye while there's time left. And, he passed away 4 years later, and I got to say goodbye to him. And not in a hospital setting or nothing. It was in our backyard. We're sitting in chairs out in the backyard, and we're just chatting about the outdoors, man. He was a big influence on me in the outdoors. We're talking about the outdoors and his days as a woodsman, a logger. You know, he was a logger. He ran a big lumber mill and stuff. But we're just talking about his good old days. And I said, Grandpa, I said, you know, you're going to the hospital tomorrow for that surgery. He had growths in his abdomen they were going to remove. And I said, you might not come back. And he goes, if your folks make me stay in that hospital, it's going to kill me. He says, I'm going in there, they're going to take those things out, then I'm coming home, and then everything will be okay. And I thought, I'm going to give him his own medicine. I said, you taught me this, but you know what, Grandpa? Just in case you don't come back, I got to say goodbye. Yeah, he never came home, but I never once had any regrets of not being able to say goodbye. After that, I make every effort when I talk to anybody that I care about, friends, family, acquaintances, anybody I care about, when I say goodbye, I want it to be cheerful. Hey, goodbye. Hope to see you soon. Hope to see you this time or that time. Because that's all it is hopes. We hope to see each other the next time. We don't know that we will. The Will the Rocker homemade rhubarb pie? Oh, to die for. To die for. I can't wait. Can't wait. That season's not too far off. Yeah, yeah. The But another example was a friend of mine. He decided he was going to go into the Air Force, right? We were young, you know. We had just turned 18 at the time. And he called me up and he says, Sty, let's go out for pizza and hang out tonight. I said, okay, cool. So we did. We're at Pizza Parlor having pizza and a couple of beers. You know. At that time, they had just turned the state law to 18 to drink. So, yeah, we're having a couple of beers and some pizza. And he says, I got a surprise. I said, what's that? And he says, I'm going into the Air Force. I said, you got to be kidding me. He says, no, actually. He says, it's all done. It's all over. He says, I actually ship out. He says, I don't even remember which Air Force base he went to, but he said, I'm out of here in 2 days. I said, really? I said, I probably won't see you then, will I? Before you leave. He goes, I doubt it. I put the best possible goodbye on him I could. 6 months later, in a service hangar, they had a fuel tank on a fighter plane explode. Killed him right there. But I was able to. It hurt. It hurt. We were buddies. It hurt. But I did not have to recover from not being able to say goodbye. And I told myself, damn it, it's worth it. It's worth always make the goodbye as good as the hellos. Like I said, we meet each other. We want to hug each other, shake, good old hard handshake. It's good to see you. And then we leave and we say, bye, in the car. We're out of here. No, make those goodbyes as strong as the greeting every time if you can. Because you don't know what's going to happen the next 10 minutes. the next day, the next 10 days. You just don't know what's going to happen. I had the opportunity to move to northwestern Montana from Minnesota back in the 1980s. And I'm taking my wife and 4 kids. We're jumping. We're heading to Montana. The hardest part of that was saying goodbye to all my friends and family in Minnesota. Everybody showed up. Here's the deal. There were 5 families, 5 different families. We all got together and we did a joint venture, and we bought a big piece of property, and we're all moving out there, going to build houses, blah, 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 blah. And we decided, everybody let your families and friends know that we're leaving at this time on this day, and they can all come on over and wave goodbye to the caravan. Well, here we are. I think we had a total of 7 or 8 vehicles, all pulling trailers. Nothing didn't pull a trailer. Big caravan heading for Montana. Over 1,200 miles away. To a piece of property. Now, mind you, cell phones were not a thing at the time. Moving to a piece of property with no power on it, no way to communicate. The only way you had to communicate would be to use a payphone, which still existed at the time, or through the mail. We made those goodbyes that day the best we could, because all of us are heading 1,200 miles away, knowing that point of contact has just been broken. What? And we don't know if we'll ever see those people back in Minnesota again. None of us do. So we all gave great, hearty goodbyes. We moved to Montana, spent 4 years out there, made it back, didn't lose anybody in the transitions. We were lucky. We were so lucky. The point of making goodbyes before, well, there's still time left, really is not for the person that becomes missing in your life, but it's for you. That's preventive maintenance for your emotions, your heart, your soul. You're prepared that much more if you lose somebody when you made sure your very last goodbye. It could be, that goodbye could be 6 months ago, but if it was a good one, it was a good goodbye, and you lost that person 6 months later, but during that whole 6 months, you had no contact with that person. It doesn't hurt any less because there's been a big 6-month gap there. But knowing that the very last thing you can recall with that person was that awesome goodbye, it does make it easier. Doesn't fix it, but it does make it easier. The Destination Great Lakes, time for dinner. So in the interest of tonight's topic, goodbye everyone, and see you next time, hopefully at camp. Yeah, love you guys. Yeah, we'll see each other at camp for sure. Yeah, I'm all geared up. I want to go. I want to go. I'm not 100% ready, but I want to go. I want to go. I know I've had people say, "Oh, Sty, I hate that topic. You know, you make it sound like you're out of here." No, 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 no. No, I'm not. I have no plans to be out of here. I have no plans to be out of here. And I really don't want to have to live through another loss, right? But I have no control of that. I have no control of the losses in life. I've had so many in 64 years that I just don't want to see anymore, you know? So everybody be real careful. Live in a little bubble, take the absolute best care of yourself, and don't anybody get hurt or not be here, right? Okay? Until I'm gone. Then whatever happens, happens. Pretty selfish, isn't it? I I do I do think that that's one of the most common issues with someone that's suffered a loss is I didn't have the opportunity to say goodbye. And that's why tell everybody. Um, See, Julie's saying I never say goodbye, too final. I always say see you later because I will either here or the hereafter. I'll be seeing you. the See, and I mentioned that at the beginning of the show, Julie, that there's a lot of people like that, and I had a friend that was exactly that way. Never in 40 years in our friendship did he ever say goodbye. I never ever heard him say goodbye, and it was because of the finality of it. You know, it's too final. And my very last conversation with him was the one and only time in 40 years he said goodbye, and he passed away just a few days later. It was because he knew it was final. So it was all right to use it at the end, you know, at the end. But see, I look at it different. I've seen so much loss in my life that there were no goodbyes. You couldn't say goodbye. And and I believe in the hereafter, but I also believe that not everybody makes it to the hereafter. And some of the people that don't make it to the hereafter, I still loved them, still cared about them. So in this world, I would have liked to have said goodbye. So, so yeah, you know, and it's all what's best for you, folks. It's all what's best for you. I just hope that for some people that feel that, yeah, Eileen, it is. Loss sucks. It really does. Yeah, your dad, you wish you had spent more time with him. Yeah, yeah. I can wholeheartedly relate to. I I lost my dad when I was 12 years old. Tragic death. It was a tragic death. Yeah, there was no goodbye there. No, there was no goodbye before that one. And would have loved, I would have loved to have had him around till he was in his 80s like my mother. I would have loved it. The lost a brother, sister, and husband. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've lost two siblings, brother and a sister. I only have one sister left. Thank the good Lord, she's healthy, and we stay in contact. Stay in contact, and I'm going to squeeze it in the fall of next year, Lord willing. I'm going to go down and spend some time with her and her husband and catch up in person instead of across the internet or the telephone. You know, the let's see here. What are people saying out in the chat here? Oh yeah, Raven, you were asking what happened. You talking about the loss of my father? Yes. Because if you seriously want to know, I'll drop you a little comment about it. But I'll make a comment to it. But If that's not what you're looking for, then I don't typically like to say it unless it's specifically asked for. but but that's the thing is there's a lot of times we have tragic losses in our lives, and if you really if it's a person you really felt the need to say goodbye to, and they were lost tragically and you didn't get the goodbye, that really compounds the problems, you know. Guani saying goodbye, Sty North. Just wanted to get it in as your show is probably coming to a close soon. Yeah, Guani. Yeah, we got another 4 minutes and the show wraps up. But the well, see, and that's it. Spicy, yeah, Phil. Oh, that's a perfect example of tragedy steps in and we don't see it coming. We just don't get to feel it coming on to be prepared. And the thing is the only thing I can say to that is I believe, can't help but believe that you may not have been able to say goodbye, but I firmly believe you didn't have to say that you loved them. He knew it. All I got to do is look at your granddaughter. She looks at you like, he loves me. and he was that way. He loved his grandpa, man. And he knew, and people don't typically love people that don't love back, right? And yeah, he knew. He knew. It's hard to lose a family member. I lost my mom, but I didn't say goodbye to her. Then I lost my dad. I did say goodbye to him. Yeah, yeah. And that's it, is if you have both opportunities to say goodbye or not say goodbye, then you can judge the weight of how it affected you, you know? It really does make a difference. The yeah, I think I'm going to do a show in the future that will concentrate more on the loss of my father, because I want that to be an inspirational type show to people, um, just how valuable life is, just how valuable life is. And I believe that life is valuable. And that's why I say when you say goodbye to somebody, say goodbye like it is goodbye. Tell them, I love you. Hey, it was awesome. Goodbye. So that's what's in their mind, if something should happen, right? Don't think that something will happen, but act like that's could be my last goodbye. So here's a good one for you. I'm going to give you a good goodbye. And folks, we hit the top of the hour. It's time for Sty to say goodbye. I love y'all. It's been wonderful. I'm so happy you were here. And goodbye. And I hope and pray to see you again soon. Sunday, Sty Story Sunday, 7 p.m. Central Time. Stop on in. Otherwise, I'll see you Monday. Watch the end credits here. Remind yourself of the next topic on Sty Times. So until then, you all stay safe, happy, and don't forget, give a nice, loving goodbye to all of your friends and family whenever you can. Till later. Bye.